Yesterday, the judges ordered reparations to victims arising from the crimes for which Ongwen was found guilty and for which he's serving a 25-year jail sentence in Norway. And I must say, Ongwen himself was present via video link yesterday during the rendering of the order. And the judges ordered that reparations be granted to the victims in three different categories. One, there is the communal or collective, community-based reparations, which the judges ordered for all the victims that fall within the scope of the case of Dominic Ongwen in the four case locations that we've been talking about: Lukodi, Pajule, Odek, and Abok, as well as sexual and gender-based crimes, the recruitment of children in active hostilities. Those are called the thematic crimes, and also recognize that children were born as a result of sexual enslavement, sexual gender-based violence, and those children are also entitled to reparation. They were recognized. The second category of the reparation, of which is the symbolic aspect, the judges ordered that a symbolic measures be put in place to ensure that the victims in their communities are able to feel this part of the reparation. And the symbolic orders will have different categories, either a cultural impact, a religious impact, a socio-economic impact, or an educational impact. That's part of what the other part of the orders were. And the third one, which is the symbolic award of money to individual victims, which the judges have estimated to be 49,772 potentially of number of people that may benefit or may be eligible for reparations after going through an eligible test. That's the criteria that will be set up by the Victims Participation and Reparation section. So this symbolic orders, the judges gave 750 euro, which yesterday the communities already converted to be 3 million, about 200 Ugandan shillings, to benefit each eligible direct or indirect victim, and that falls within the scope of the case, as I already explained to you. So these are the three categories of orders that the judges gave yesterday: the collective, communal based type of rehabilitation, and they ordered the trust fund for big victims to ensure that by the 3rd of September they would have submitted what you call a DIP, that is a draft implementation plan, after consulting with victims and other parties on what should be in the implementation plan. And the judges ordered the prioritization. The judges said, among the three categories of orders that we have given you, we would like you to prioritize the symbolic awards of the 750 euro per each eligible direct or indirect victim that is linked to this case. So the rehabilitations will be going on, but the most important, the judges ordered prioritize the symbolic order. And the symbolism here is not a reparation, it is not a compensation per se. The judges said this is a recognition of the harm that you have suffered. There is no way 750 euro is going to repair the harm that people have suffered. There is no way 750 euro is going to bring alive a deceased family member, but it is a recognition, a symbolic recognition that we see you, we understand your pain, and this is how we want to see you. This is how we want to kind of symbolically see and recognize your pain. And on the side of this 750 euro, the judges also went further to ask to have it prioritized, that there are three categories in which the judges prioritize. And the reason why they say that is to manage your expectations that not every victim, even if you are eligible, will get the 750 euro at the same time. They said, first, let us prioritize victims who are in dire need of assistance, whose needs cannot wait till tomorrow or next tomorrow. If they are there, let's have them receive the €750. The money is there after the trust fund we have put in place, the mechanism after the VPRS, the registry, would have identified and mapped out these eligible victims. And the second category, the judges said, let us have victims who have already been considered by the court as victims. They had participated throughout the trial process. Those particular victims who are also in dire need of assistance. So we're assessing the vulnerability of those victims. They can be prioritized as a second category. A third category under this prioritization scheme is the victims who fall within the scope, directly or indirectly, but who do not have desperate or dire need they can receive later. So I'm thinking it's very important for us to emphasize this message that yes, the orders are out there. It might take a process to execute them. And importantly, the funds are not sitting there. The Trust Fund for Victims has to mobilize them, and the judges encourage states, individual entities, private entities, organizations around the world to put money to the trust fund to ensure that these awards, this reparation, this rehabilitation that the judges have ordered are fully implemented, short of which it will become a challenge for the victims to fully receive the reparations. Uganda is a state party to the Rome Statute, and the activities will be implemented in the country. The order did not specify any obligation for any state party. It was a call for everyone. But then, if programs, if rehabilitation programs are going to be put together, depending on the nature of the programs, I would want to believe that we will need support the different government structures to be able to continue to work to reach out to victims. As we are in the country, the government of Uganda is the host state, and we are able to do quite a lot of what we're doing because of the existing infrastructure that is there in the country, and the government's responsibility towards the ICC continues in that regard as a state party and a host of the country office here.
Thank you.